Good evening, everyone. I hope my voice is audible to all of you. May I get a quick confirmation over the YouTube chat box? This is the first session that you guys are attending for SBR September 2025. And the people who are already enrolled into the batch, this is the first session that you're attending on YouTube. After that, you're going to attend it always on Zoom. Okay, so this is the first and the last one. So please let me know if my voice is audible, clearly audible to all of you in the chat box. That's great. Okay, so welcome you all to the SBR live orientation for September 2025. I'm sure if you are here, then you are very much sorted that you are giving your strategic business reporting paper in the upcoming attempt. Now, you can be a student coming from various levels of studies. It could be someone who has completed 9 papers, or someone who's got exemptions from the 9 papers, or someone who is already a chartered accountant or so, and they know basics of accounting standards, and they just need a brush up on the case studies and the application. So, whichever background you're coming from, this session is going to really help you. And yes, of course, I'm going to tell you about how the batch at TG Professional works for SBR. But in addition to that, it's not just a way of communicating that part of the talk, but also to give you a proper plan, a strategy that even if you're a self-study student, you can follow this planner and make sure that you succeed in the very first go. Right? So this particular session is going to help every student, whether they are self-studying, whether they are enrolled at TG Professionals, or whether they are planning to enroll. Whatever the scenario is, you have to stick by it till the end. Now, before I begin, on a very light note, what do I mean by this paper, strategic business reporting? Like, the name is very heavy, right? Financial reporting that we did in skill level was still like, okay, FR, financial reporting, financial means number, reporting means communicating. So it was kind of understandable that here we are doing accounting and we are going to simply do debits and credits, P&L, balance sheet, cash flow and stuff. But this strategic business reporting, what exactly this heavy paper means? Like, why is it given such a big name? Strategic business reporting. It is just an advanced level of FR, but still, we've given a very strategic name to it. Why? You need to understand that when we were doing FR, or if you have not done it, just know it, the people who've done FR, that was at a very kiddish level. Uh, I'm using the word kiddish, but that doesn't literally mean kiddish. But in a way, it was like a little easy form where I was just knowing that, okay, this is how I have to calculate stuff. This is how I'm supposed to present things. But I was not getting into the reasons or whys of what are we doing. We were not getting into explanations of what we are doing. We were just doing it. We were doing calculations. So imagine, I know a formula, okay, in mathematics, and I know, okay, that this is how I calculate the area, okay. And now suddenly somebody asks me why, and we'll be like, because that's what our tutor told. That's the formula to calculate area of any space. And if I have to calculate, if you remember the Pythagoras theorem, so it's just something that someone told to us. It was just a mathematical formula that we were told. The whole algebra, all the formulae that we learned, that was at that time in a kiddish way. We just did it just like that. Okay, someone told us do it like this, we did it. But if somebody asks us to derive that formula, or if somebody asks us that why this formula was made the way it is made, then we will be in trouble. And we'll say, no, we don't know that much. So that's why I'm saying FR was a little bit kiddish. But in SBR, we are getting into the explanations of whatever we calculated in FR. So strategic business reporting is where a business, okay, we are getting into the real life, a business, a real company, how would they report their position and their performance? Now, position means what assets, liabilities you have, and performance means were you profitable? What was the income generated, what were the expenses, what was the segregation of income and expenses. That's your performance. Should people invest in you? Should they buy the shares of your company? Are you a good performing company currently and have a good future prospect as well? What are your ambitions? What are your goals? How do you think that your company has met the target that it was supposed to meet? How do you set your targets? What is your impact on the climate? Because these days climate is a big issue around the world. So yes, how companies are impacting the environment, how companies are impacting the climate change, global warming, all that stuff. How are you creating jobs for people? How are you contributing to maybe society in terms of paying taxes? So all that stuff comes under strategic business reporting. So FR was just this minute part of reporting, and strategic business reporting is a whole book of reporting. So where I get to know about the explanation and the whys, that why we were adding something to calculate the profit, why we were deducting something to calculate the profit. So all those reasonings are what we learn in SBR. So if somebody asks you from now, that is SBR just calculation based, answer is no. SBR is only approximately 30% calculation based and 70% is discussion based, reasoning based, application based. It is not at all calculation based. And you would be surprised to know that even if my calculations go wrong, I still get step marking. We call it as own figure rule. So if once the mark is deducted for certain thing that you've calculated wrong, you will not face the deduction again. Maybe you use that input again in your calculation. So basically, calculation is not that big a headache in SBR as compared to the reasons how, why I am calculating certain thing in that way. How am I calculating that certain thing? So that reasoning comes from IFRSs, right? International Financial Reporting Standards. So this is what I've given you as a brief of your paper. So today in this session, okay, I am going to share a plan with you, a handout with you, where I'm going to tell you what are the common mistakes people make in the exam. I'm going to discuss the important areas of syllabus and exact dates by when you should get completed with which area of your syllabus. And then, of course, the question and answer session, whatever you would have to ask, you can drop down in the comment box towards the end of the session, and I will take that down. So let's begin our session. I'm just going to share my screen with you. Okay. So I hope the screen is visible. Okay. So here we come. This is SBR orientation September 2025. Let's have a look at it. What is SBR, first of all? See, SBR is a paper which reflects on how and in which format should a business report its performance and position to the users. Now, which users am I talking about? I'm talking about various users. I'm talking about stakeholders. Now, these stakeholders are basically, like shareholders, primary shareholders. They can be your potential shareholders. They can be your government. Okay. They can be the banks. They can be your employees. Okay. Your suppliers and so on. These are the stakeholders of any business. Okay. And I am reporting my numbers to these stakeholders because they're concerned about how my business is doing, right? They care about me or they're interested in me. Now, in which format I'm going to report my numbers to them? I'm going to report it in the format of balance sheet, where you show your asset base and your liability base. Now, what is an asset? What is a liability? I know you all must be knowing if you're coming from a commerce background. But since I deal with a lot of students who come from exemption background and might not know the basics, some of you are very pro at the basics. I really appreciate that. And but still, some might not know. So that's why we actually, teach you everything from the scratch. That's what I believe in. So I will tell you what is an asset, what is a liability. In fact, that is part of your conceptual framework. So conceptual framework, which is part of your syllabus, actually defines that as per the standard, as per the rule, what do you mean by What do you mean by asset and liability? I hope I'm audible to you, right? There's no issue with the audio. Yes, clearly audible. Okay. So format, balance sheet is there, statement of profit and loss is there, other comprehensive income is there, then statement of changes in equity, statement of cash flow. These are the formats in which I report various numbers. I'll report my assets, liabilities, my income, expenses, my cash flow, the bank balance, all the investments that I've made in these formats, which we will learn one by one in our syllabus. Now, when we are reporting something, reporting is kind of a communication, right? So if I tell you that, let's suppose you are a part of the batch and I tell you, please report to me with your assignments tomorrow 5 p.m. So I'm asking you to communicate your assignments to me. Maybe you are going to email it to me or send it on WhatsApp to me. So you're communicating, right? So the format in which you're communicating is this. The language of communication also matters. So you all know right now what language I'm using for communication. It's English, right? You will see a lot of classes going on in regional languages as well. So I could have also taken the session in Hindi. And if someone is coming from various other parts of world, they would have used their own language. Okay. But we have to use a language in reporting which is international, because we are dealing with MNCs these days, multinational companies. They all understand international language. They all are globalized. They are all in, they are various located in various locations, but actually at the end of the day, they are, the world is very small. So they are operating and doing business together. So some firm can be located in UAE, and at the same time it can be there in India, and at the same time it can be there in USA. So it will have its headquarter in one country but operating in various other countries as well. So yes, I need an international accounting language which is termed as IFRS. International Financial Reporting Standards. Now, these international financial reporting standard is what we learned in FR. We also learned it somehow in financial accounting, the F3 paper. Then we learned it in FR. Now we are going to learn it in very much detail in SBR. And as it is, if you're planning on to give, it is used in AAA. So I remember someone asking me in the batch group that, ma'am, how do you rate yourself in AAA teaching? Okay, so that was an interesting question I dealt with. And I answered that I like AAA because it has AAA has SBR. So that tells you that SBR is very important. It is not just limited to today. It's not just limited to the fact that you're doing it today as a paper of ACCA. Not at all. This is going to have a long-term impact. A long-term impact on what? AAA, if you pick it up. Secondly, if you give any kind of interviews in the future, I'm sure you guys are planning on to actually get placed in one of the big fours or any dream company that you have. So if you want to do that, of course, you should know that what they interview you on is either IFRS or it will be taxation rules. And tax rules are less applicable now, because in ACCA we have UK taxation, so that's not international tax, because international tax is not a thing. But IFRS, International Accounting Standard, that is something most of the MNCs companies are going to interview you on. So make sure that you know it, you remember it. And of course, even if after you become an ACCA member, you've got a job, you keep on developing your knowledge on this area. So that's called as continued professional development. So ACCA keeps on arranging webinars for you. If there's any change in IFRS, you should be aware of that, okay, this is new, which is being introduced. So recently IFRS S1, S2, and a lot more standards were issued, and there is a little change in your syllabus as well with respect to two standards, IFRS 18 and IFRS 19. So we are going to discuss that when the time comes. Okay. For now, you have to just stick with me on the orientation. After that, I'll be uploading a short video where I'll explain the syllabus changes to you. Right now, it's not applicable to you. You just keep on doing the initial things. NCA is same, CF is same, everything is same. IFRS 13 is same. You keep on doing those chapters, complete them. But I will make short videos on whatever the syllabus changes in SBR are there from this attempt. And they are not too high or very large. It's very subtle change, very easily manageable change. So integrated reporting has been removed from your syllabus, but then IFRS S1 and S2 are still there in the syllabus. So that does not mean that you're not supposed to know what is sustainable reporting. But now you can avoid getting into what is the difference between integrated and sustainable reporting. So few changes are there here and there, and I will discuss them when the time comes. Okay. Now, coming back to the introduction of the subject. As I said, SBR is about reporting the numbers in the format of balance sheet, P&L, OCI, changes in equity and cash flow in the language of IFRS. So how am I going to get tested? What is going to be the format of the paper? Because in FR, it was all about MCQs, right? I was calculating the profit, picking up the right option or filling in the right figure and getting my marks. How is it going to happen in SBR? So here we are going to have all subjective questions. Okay, so no objective questions, no MCQs, no drop down list, no, pick up the right point, true or false, nothing like that. Everything is going to be subjective. Now, if SBR is your first professional paper, you get one more challenge. You were still, focused on how to deal with MCQs. You were still focused with how to, at maximum, deal with a 20 marker in section C of a skill level. This is the first time when you're going to see a 30 marker, and that too completely subjective. A big case study, completely subjective. Then a question of 25 marks, again, completely discussion based. So you are supposed to adapt to that type of paper as well. How can you do that? Many people are unable to do this only at the first place. You are supposed to practice as much as possible. Now, it's very easy to say for any tutor that practice as much as you can. See, what I provide, okay, if I tell you, I provide to all my students on the YouTube platform an ultimate planner. Now, this ultimate planner is out in August. That is when 1 month is left in your paper. Because till then, I expect you to do all the concepts. As per the planner that I'll share with you today, I'll give you until 5th of August, the plan until 5th of August. After 5th of August, you're going to follow what? You're going to follow Ultimate Planner, where I'll tell you day-wise, every day, which questions you're doing. Now, if you're a student at TG Professionals, you're going to do those questions from my video debriefs. If you're someone who's enrolled somewhere else, you will do those questions from that particular platform. If you're someone who's doing self-study, then you will do those questions, same questions in the same order by yourself. But please, you have to follow the plan that is given to you. If you are here, okay, so if you're here, I'm sure you are interested to take the guidance from me. So yes, please follow the plan that I'm letting out, whatever the situation or scenario is. So that's how you would learn to adapt yourself from skill level to professional level, from MCQs to big case studies, from just calculating things to applying the standards and writing a good answer. So August is going to be very crucial for you. So you have to keep your August month relatively free. So if you have any kind of, you can say, any kind of, promises coming up, or liabilities coming up, make sure you get rid of them by August. Just get it done by June and July. There should be nothing disruptive in the month of August. Your health should be top notch. Your work, you should have planned leaves in the month of August. Then only you'll be able to manage this paper. Because application, that is practice, plays the most important role in SBR. Yes, so we know it in advance. August is our month. We have to keep it free. Okay. So what I'm doing for August, right now I am traveling. So I would be coming back to my home so that I'm completely available for you in the month of August as well, without any disruptions. So similarly, you have to make your own plans. If I'm also making as a tutor, you have to make it for yourself as well. Okay, now let us discuss what is the format of the paper, and then I'll show you the paper of December 2024. So what we have is question number 1, which is from 30 marks from group accounts. Now, what is this group accounts? See, group accounts is basically consolidation that you've seen in F3, FR, and now you're seeing it again in SBR. If you are an exempted student, no worries, I teach you from the scratch. But if you're an exempted student and you've forgotten group accounts, okay, let's suppose you gave FR, but you've forgotten group accounts. So you are supposed to pay extra attention to the concepts. You have to pay extra attention to your Kaplan study text. Along with the lectures, you have to pay attention to the text as well. Do TYUs like more in detail. Make sure that you don't skip any test yourself questions in the Kaplan text. So you have to play extra, give extra importance to the subject if your concept is weak. That's for sure. Now, if I move ahead, like group accounts, okay, we've seen it somewhere. It's 30 marks in the paper. There is something known as pre-populated spreadsheet. I'll show you the question in a moment, but there is something called as pre-populated. What is pre-populated? Back in 2023, people were very afraid of pre-populated. Now they've got adapted to it. So pre-populated was a newly introduced concept where the examiner already makes a balance sheet, P&L or cash flow. You are supposed to adjust it. So for 12 to 13 marks, you're making adjustments to that already made balance sheet, P&L or cash flow. Now, people were like, this is difficult. But in my perspective, it is easy. Previously, you were making it from the scratch. Come on. You were doing it like all the working notes, making all the formats by yourself. That was killing your time. Now you have already given a format and you're just supposed to figure out what are the mistakes and adjust those mistakes. That's what a real accountant does. That's what a real CA or an ACCA would do, right? So make sure that you know that what is difficult and what is not. Don't go by the perspective of some students that you heard. Because I've seen a lot of narratives around certain subjects. Like students would be like, SBR pre-populated, very difficult. SBR current issues, very difficult. AAA, very difficult paper, very least passing percentage. We are not supposed to go by narratives. What might seem difficult to person A might not seem difficult to person B. So if you keep a positive perspective and you try to understand and learn genuinely, that thing won't seem difficult, right? So let me show you the question paper, question number 1, which is for 30 marks. So Asha is saying getting married in July, August is clear. Wow, okay. So you have to, okay, no comments. Fine. Let me just take you to, okay. Yeah. So I'm just going to share my screen. I hope everyone knows how to log in into the practice platform. It's a very easy process, okay? I'm just logging into mine. Just give me a moment. And then you can assign yourself any past paper that you want to solve. Let's pick up the latest past paper for December 24-25. Yeah, so I'm going to share the screen now. Okay, here we go. So this is question number 1 of a very recent past paper of SBR. So we are always afraid of the paper that we are starting with. At least see the paper, face the fear in the very first day itself. That's what I suggest everyone. Just have a look at it. The requirement part of this question, they are saying using exhibit 1, so this is for 30 marks, and using exhibit 1 and in accordance with IFRS 10, explain why layout does not control Broziak company. 8 marks, no calculation, just explanation. And do you notice they've mentioned which exhibit to use? So that means you are not supposed to read the full question and then start answering it. You can answer every requirement by just reading one exhibit. So I can just read exhibit 1, okay, and I can answer question number 1. And it's all discussion based. There's no calculation. Then using exhibit 2, explain with appropriate calculation how the defined benefit plan, which is IS 19 of your syllabus, should be accounted for in the year ended 31st December. So appropriate calculations. Now they've asked you to use calculations, but let me tell you, if this question is worth 8 marks, maximum 3 marks will be for calculations and 5 marks will be discussion based. Again, they've mentioned which exhibit to use. Then using exhibit 2 and 3, adjust the pre-populated spreadsheet. That's what I was talking about. A pre-populated spreadsheet is given to you to correct the draft consolidated statement of financial position. So basically, correct means there are certain mistakes that are being made by this company layout. I am supposed to rectify those errors. So if you see what pre-populated spreadsheet do we have, let's have a look at it. Here is the pre-populated spreadsheet. Just a moment. Yeah. So here is the pre-populated spreadsheet, which you are supposed to adjust. So they've already made a balance sheet. Okay. Draft balance sheet is there and I'm supposed to make adjustments to it. I will teach you exactly how you're supposed to deal with such questions in the exam. But I'm just showing you at the very first session that what kind of questions you're getting in SBR. So 14 marks are dedicated to pre-populated and this is all calculation. So as I said, 30% is calculation and 70% is discussion. So 14 marks are already here calculation based. So this is group accounts, okay? So it is a structure of consolidation where I'm preparing consolidated balance sheet. Fine. Then question number 2. First question was 30 marks. Second question is 20 marks. So here again, they've said using exhibit 1, discuss the correct presentation. Again, this is based upon random IFRSs. There is no particular rule that which IFRS will be tested in which question. For question number 1 only, we are sure that it will come from group accounts. So we can prepare well for it. We know group accounts is very important for us. But second question, what is constant is the second requirement. We are always going to get ethical issues in the second requirement. So using exhibit 2, discuss the ethical issues and the actions which Mr. Lennox should take to address these. So this is basically ethical issue which is coming from code of ethics. Here we are talking about the competence, integrity, confidentiality, objectivity, professional behavior, all that stuff. So we are going to get 10 marks. And if you notice, the whole 20 marker question is completely discussion based. It has nothing to do with your calculation, right? So this is what we have as question number 2. And ethical issues are something that we are going to get short. So ethics, we are going to learn with questions. I don't have any conceptual video on ethics. We're going to learn with questions. So one fine day, in a question video, you will see that I'll explain you ethics and then I'll go into application of straight 10, 15 questions related to ethics. Then question number 3, section B. Let's see. What we have here, okay, what we have here, requirements, 25 marks. This is going to be from random IFRSs. I can see IFRS 5 here, IFRS 15 is here, IFRS 13 fair value is here. Then some random thing like discuss how the payment made to acquire the option should be accounted for. So mostly it's all about discussion. Here also I'm discussing, here also I'm discussing, then here as well, okay, they're asking you how you should allocate the transaction price. So that's also discussion. So basically, sometimes I'm getting calculations, but most of the times it's discussion. So it's all about discussion of the IFRSs, right? So this is something what I have in 25 marker, question number 3. Last question number 4. See, this one has 2 professional marks. So last time I saw professional marks was question number 2. So if you don't remember it, let me go back to question number 2. Okay. So let's go back to question number 2. Here in question number 2, after the ethical issues, I had professional marks to be awarded 2 marks for this ethical issue. Now, I have the professional marks in question number 4 as well. But why? See, they're asking you discuss why Kimimlia's company's sustainable report does not comply with IFRS sustainable disclosure standards. Now, sustainable reporting is not something which is a technical thing or a calculation based thing. It's a very theoretical topic. It's a current issue. It is IFRS S1 and S2 which were recently introduced. So this frames part of your current issues. And that's why we have 2 professional marks allocated to it. And then we also have discuss how materiality approach is different from European sustainability reporting standards as compared to IFRS. Now, again, this is something which is coming from current issues. So this is from current issues. This one is also from current issues. And then finally, we have a general IFRS based requirement where we are discussing the accounting treatment. So now you understand the format of your paper, right? Where we have section A from groups, we are getting 30 marks. Question number 2, ethics, we are getting 20 marks and there will be 2 professional marks. Question number 3, we are getting from general IFRSs for 25 marks. Then question number 4, IFRS plus current issues / technical articles, 25 marks, 2 professional marks. So in total, I have 4 professional marks. How am I supposed to get these professional marks? See, it all depends upon the language that you use while answering your question. It depends on the format that you use. I generally suggest my students that you can get professional marks if you use small headings, paragraph approach, and a logical flow to your answer. So professional marks are something which is in the hands of the examiner. So they will give you these marks on the basis of how you've written your case study answer. Have you been on point? Have you catch the right, topic of discussion in the requirement? Have you written your answer in a logical flow? Have you exercised skepticism? Okay. Have you considered the all possible impacts of a certain information in the case study? So all that thing counts into professional marks. So these are very important yet easy marks to get if you follow general rules of presentation. Again, I will teach you how to get these professional marks going forward in the sessions. Of course, when we will start with the practice, you'll get to know how to get these professional marks, right? So this is what I have as my format of the paper. Now, guys, let us understand that if you are someone who's planning to enroll at TG Professionals, what are you supposed to do? Because there are like hundreds of queries that we get every day. So I'm explaining you for all the students who are already enrolled, also listen to it very carefully. You have already enrolled, but I'll tell you what you are supposed to do after enrollment. See, those who are planning to enroll, you'll visit the website. You will fill in the details. You can like sign up, and some people ask for trial videos. So on the website itself, once you sign up, you go to the course of SBR September 25, you will see few videos which are like made available to everyone. You can freely access it, watch it, and understand the way of teaching, right? And then you can go for your enrollment process, which is very easy. Add your billing address, add your details, all that stuff. And then you get your credentials, usually on email. Please check your spam folder too. So many people, they reach out to us that we didn't get the credentials, but sometimes since you're dealing with TG Professionals for the first time, so the email sometimes goes into spam. So make sure you check that as well. Then you watch the orientation today, right? So many people have already enrolled. So they're watching this orientation. Good. It will be available on YouTube and portal both. Once you watch the orientation, today it's 15th of June. So from tomorrow onwards, that is 16th, if possible, you can start it today also. Start watching the lectures as per the plan in the order that I've given to you. And if possible, try making some running notes in addition to the class notes. So whatever lecture you will find on the portal, Along with it, you will see a class note attached. Okay, the class PPT that is attached. So you can download that. Okay, you can compile that. I'm also working on its compilation, but it will take me a month or so to do so. Like I have the class notes for every topic attached on the portal, but for the compilation, because I'll make a flow between the chapters, so it will take me some time. Until then, you have individual class notes with every video, every presentation. Now, please try making your own running notes as well. Now, why I'm saying this? Because SBR is all about retention. See, of course, you need to understand the why of everything. Why should be your very important question. Whenever you're doing SBR, you've just seen a paper where we were talking about discuss how, discuss why. So you should know that why a certain accounting standard says a certain thing. So knowing that why or logic is very important, but equally important it is to retain the standard. Now, to retain a rule or a standard, it's very important that you end up writing it in your own handwriting, in your own language, so that you retain it, memorize it. I'm not talking about cramming it, but yes, after understanding a rule, you are supposed to retain that rule. See, retaining without understanding is useless, and understanding without retaining is also less beneficial. So both will go hand in hand. Then after watching the lecture, making your running notes, you are supposed to solve Kaplan t-values. Test your understanding questions. So when you will watch the lectures, you will see me solving certain boxes in the Kaplan. Okay, I do it on my PPT. And then I come back to Kaplan and solve the t-values for you in the class. You are supposed to redo them after the session. Okay. Once you've done that, attend the weekend live class. See, today only we are meeting on a Sunday. Otherwise, all our classes are scheduled on Saturdays. It's a religion that I'm following since 2020. All my SBR sessions happen on Saturdays at 8 p.m. Indian time. So you are going to attend the live class at 8 p.m. Indian time. Now, many students who are globally located, they feel that why Indian time? Okay, let me explain you. I am putting up in India, so that's what I use as a reference point, number one. Secondly, why 8 p.m.? Because the reason is 8 p.m. you might find that maybe it's afternoon in your time zone, and you might find a little unfair that, ma'am, for Indians it is, or for Asian people in the Asian region, they have evening, but for us it is afternoon. Okay, I understand. And honestly, I'm trying to do best that I can. See, 8 p.m., if I talk about any country at large, maximum, majority of the countries, at least it is not midnight. Okay, at least it is not early morning. So that's why majority of the students who are studying ACCA, 8 p.m. time suits them. In my whole experience of teaching, I've tried keeping it at 6, I've tried keeping it at 3 p.m. or morning sessions as well, but most of the times international students have a trouble with it because that time doesn't suit them, but 8 p.m. does suit most of them. So that's why we've come and kept it at 8 p.m. Indian time. I know you might have to compromise certain things because, of course, I can't keep, something which is comfortable for all, but I can keep a timing which is comfortable for the maximum. Okay. So I request your cooperation as well. 8 p.m. IST is what we are going to follow. If by chance you're unable to join the session live, we have a recording of it available right after the session. So if the class was for 2 hours, after 2 hours, the recording is automatically available. Okay. So you will not face any trouble regarding that. So that's what you have to follow. Okay. You have to first attend the weekend live class and then do homework questions. In the live session, I'm going to share the homework questions with you. I'm going to give you assignments after the completion of every unit. You're going to do that. It will be marked. So in total, there will be 6 assignments and 2 marked mocks. Okay. So that's what we have as a process in TG Professionals. Now, very important question comes to our mind, that how are we supposed to clarify our doubts? For every student who's already enrolled or planning to enroll, please listen to this one very carefully. I'll put it in the WhatsApp group's description as well. See, first of all, we have a WhatsApp group which is dedicated for all the enrolled students. Now, if you are someone who enrolled and were not added into the WhatsApp group, it is most likely that your number was not showing us available on WhatsApp. So in that case, the team sends you an email that please reconfirm your WhatsApp number to us so that we can add you into the group. So please check your email. Still, if you're unable to figure it out, please drop a message on the number that is our team's number. Okay, it is available on the website. It is available on this handout as well. So here you can just drop a message saying that I've enrolled. Please add me to the WhatsApp group. If you're enrolled, it takes 24 hours for the team to add you. Okay, wait for 24 hours. If after then also you have some issues, please feel free to reach out. Okay. Now, for WhatsApp group, why I explain something about WhatsApp group? Because whatever query you have related to the subject, like you were doing a question and you got stuck. Now, you won't wait till the weekend to clarify your doubt. I'm not asking you to do that. Okay. I do understand we run in a very fast paced world. We want everything spontaneously. So, what we have is a WhatsApp group available. Here you have a tutor assistant. Okay, and I am there myself. So there will be doubt clarification on this WhatsApp group. Again, for the sake of, for example, someone is there in UK. So they put a doubt and maybe for me it's midnight. So I won't be able to look at the doubt at that point in time. So it will take me some hours when I'll wake up and I'll check the WhatsApp group. That's when I'll check it out, right? So that's why we've kept a turnaround time of around 12 to 16 hours. Okay. So for the tutor assistant, it's around 12 to 16 hours within the WhatsApp group, you'll get a reply. Then if you have a doubt which is very hefty, something which is like a question itself, now something that I can't resolve on a voice note, for which I need a proper kind of a board on which I can annotate and tell you how to solve this, right? So this is what you are going to get resolved in the live class, weekend live session. Okay, so this is what we have for technical support. Now, if you have any portal related queries, like my email is not working, my credentials are not here, I didn't find the email in the spam folder, or I got logged out of the portal, anything. I'm just saying something which, comes to my mind, but anything that you're facing from the regard of the portal, the recordings that you're watching, you are supposed to WhatsApp on this number. Okay. Turnaround time, 24 hours for the team, for the technical team. You can also call us. I'm not saying WhatsApp call, normal audio call. Okay, so we have a team member who is dedicatedly picking up the calls of the students. But the time limit from Monday to Friday, 6:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. IST. So this is what we've currently started. Okay, this is something which is a new feature which was not available before. So we are just experimenting it. So we've kept the time limit short because usually our students are from around the globe. So they least do audio calls. But still, we've started it on request of many students. We believe in improving the system as much as we can. Okay. So this is a new feature. Then, if I talk about one-on-one mentorship, now you might be wondering, ma'am, you have team member for answering on WhatsApp, you have team member for answering on call. What about you? How can we talk to you? Of course, you can talk to me. Weekend live sessions are for that. Secondly, on request of many students, okay, and last session was something that I experimented with this thing. I saw certain drawbacks where towards the end of the quarter, many students place the calls with same question that I'm not able to complete the, course, or I'm having a lag. I have procrastinated, so my questions are not yet done and I'm scared. So all those panic calls, right? I cater to as much as possible, but then I held a session because every day, like for 10-12 days, I was getting the same question. So I held a session and I clarified the doubts of all in that one session because of that panic mode which was on. So what I've done is we are going to have some slots, okay, available in the week. There will be a Calendly link given to you. Okay, so there will be a calendar link. You can schedule your call. This link will be made available after today's class in the WhatsApp group. Okay, which you are part of. If you're enrolled with TG Professionals, of course, you're part of the group that I talked about before. You will find this link on the description of that group. So you can schedule a call with me if you want any kind of mentorship. Okay, I'm not talking about technical doubts. Now, see, if you call me and you ask me, ma'am, TYU number 5, I'm not able to understand. See, that's not feasible. On call, it's really hard for me to make you understand that. But if you put it as a WhatsApp group message, I can read your maybe the question, and I can, on a piece of paper, solve that question and send the picture to you. That's possible for me. But if you are scheduling a call, let it be for strategy. Let's suppose, ma'am, I am having this much piled up, how to cope up. I'm planning this paper, how to do, or I feel I should, extend my course, what to do. So you can discuss anything related to mentorship, guidance, strategy. Whenever you feel demotivated, you can schedule a call with me via this link, right? So this is what we have for your queries. So this is after years of experience, that is what I am able to do in my own limitation, and to give best to my students. Okay, so this is how we have to do stuff, right? For doubts and all. Now comes the fact that what are all in all the features of the batch. Recorded classes are there, weekend live session, there will be Super 20 live classes. Super 20 questions are the most important questions for any attempt, which I do live in the class. Up to 7 sessions are there. Then grand revision session is there, 6 assignments, 2 mocks, and doubt support. I've briefed you on all these things. One more factor that I want to discuss, extension. So let me be very clear from the very beginning with you. You have an option to freely extend your course from September 25 to December 25, but the condition is that you have to inform me about this, that yes, ma'am, I want to extend it. You need to inform me about this by 15th, or let's take it as 18th of July 25. So right now it is 15th of June. Within a month, if you inform me, that is your result day basically. If you inform me by the result day that, ma'am, I flunked in the previous paper, I don't want to give SBR this attempt, I want to shift the course. Okay, understood, makes sense. Your course will be freely extended. No problem at all. But if you're going to inform us later on, let's suppose you have done all the syllabus, you've attended the live classes, you've done everything, and then later on you come up and say that I want to extend, then it will be charged at 30% of the course fee. That's something which is kept as a policy, so that you are conscious, you know whether you're giving the paper in September or not, right? We have to be serious. I can't give you an option to extend the course at the last moment so that you still have an option that you can skip this attempt. Because by the time you reach September, you will have 1,000 thoughts that should I skip this attempt, because you'll be underconfident. So I don't want to give you another reason to be underconfident, right? So this is the deadline. You can extend your course, but by 18th of July. Now, extension means you won't be able to attend to the live classes of September 25. Then your course will be extended to December. So you will attend the live classes of December. The day you inform, your course, your recordings will be available. That does not mean I'll take the access back. Of course not. The recordings will be available. Everything that you did so far will be there with you. But the forthcoming live classes and the assignments that would be coming up, that will be freezed, and you will resume with it in December attempt. That's the policy of extension, which is again written on the website, but I've explained you verbally. Okay, now that is it about the batch features and stuff. Let's understand more in detail that SBR has a pass percentage of 50%. So why are 50% of people failing this paper? See, honestly, in my opinion, SBR is accounting. And I suggest every student who is giving the paper for the first time in ACCA that start with a paper which you are familiar with. Accounting is something almost everyone is familiar with. They know the debits, they know the credits, right? That's why it seems to be a very familiar paper. But because of that, some people underestimate it. They think this is mere accounting, nothing serious, just numbers, just debits and credits. They don't understand the discussion element of SBR. They don't understand that you cannot just cram things and pass. So very weak concept is seen due to cramming. So they're not able to apply the standard in the correct scenarios. They don't know the reasoning. They don't know the whys. So whenever I'm teaching, I want you to ask me why. If I said this is added into the formula, ask me why. I'll tell you the exact reason. I'll derive that formula for you. So that derivation might not be there in any standard, but we will derive it from logic. Why the standard was made the way it was made. Because some human mind was applied while making the rule, right? So if somebody says that reach the school at 8 a.m. or else the doors will be closed, this is a rule. We are not parrots that we know the rule. We should know the reason why this rule was made. Why a human mind made this rule? Because they want to instill discipline in the students. Why discipline is important in life? To be more productive, to be more, having things methodologically. So you are supposed to make sure that you know the reasons of certain standards. Then the second reason of failure is misapplication of standards due to lack of practice. So many people, they know the concept, they know the why, they know everything, but they're not able to apply the standards correctly in the scenario. Because see, I'm telling you today, you'll remember this line of mine once you reach August. The world of study text and lectures is very different from the world of exam kit. These are two different worlds altogether. But I'm there with you in both the worlds. I'll tell you the concepts via recordings. I'll teach you the case studies and application again via recordings and live classes. So yes, you are supposed to practice as much as you can so that you learn the application and not misapply the standards. Then time management. Some people, they spend a lot of time on pre-populated. They will bang their heads so much on bouncer questions, something which is like totally out of the world. Every paper has a question which is bouncer, something which is very hard. So people will actually try to crack that nut which is hard. And they will not realize that the time is running out. So my approach in SBR is always to get easy marks. Why do you want to solve something which is difficult, which was made to deviate you from the paper? Why do you want to spend so much time on that requirement? Leave it. Whatever you know, basics of it, write it and move ahead. Get your easy marks first. So solve the easier bits first and then move to the difficult ones. Right? So overwhelmed by bouncer questions. Many people are overwhelmed by the bouncer questions. That's also one of the reasons why people fail SBR. So now we have understood that these are the major reasons and these are something that we are supposed to avoid in our preparation. How can I avoid it? By being disciplined. How can I be disciplined? Finally, this is your plan for being disciplined. This is your September 2025 planner. Please listen to me very carefully. While doing the debrief of this, I'll also brief you the syllabus areas. Now, the first unit of your preparation, unit number 1, is conceptual framework. Conceptual framework is basically the theoretical principles on the basis of which IFRSs are made. So if you make a rule, reach the school by 8 a.m., you are instilling the principle of discipline. So by making various standards like IFRS 15, 16, 13, 19, 2, 12, what are you instilling or what values are you preserving? That's what CF tells you, conceptual framework. We have a proper lecture on it. It was revised in 2018 and in the last attempt, this was the June 2025 attempt, a proper full-fledged question came on the revision of conceptual framework in 2018. Okay, then you have IFRS 13, fair value measurement. Then non-current asset. This is going to have various standards like IS 16, how to account for property, plant and equipment. So the laptop that I'm using, it's my property, plant and equipment. How am I supposed to record it in my balance sheet? Then we have a standard on intangible assets. Today you came into this session. Why? Maybe some friend of yours told you that maybe you can take guidance from Tashwita for SBR. So you can say that is kind of a goodwill, right? So what is that goodwill? Can I see that goodwill? Can I touch that goodwill? Can I measure it? No, it's intangible. So how the company should treat their brand values, their goodwill, their trademarks, their licenses. That's IS 38, right? Then we have standard on NCA, we have IS 40, investment property. That's basically any property which is idle. I don't only invest in property because I want to use it as an office space or a shop where I'll start my business. No, I might just keep it idle, or I might just rent it out to earn income from it. Now, that is investment property. How to treat it? Then you have IS 20, government grants, IS 23, borrowing cost, IFRS 5, assets held for sale, IFRS or IS 36, impairment. So these are the standards that you will learn in this unit of NCA, which you have seen in FA, FR. Okay, so you might be familiar with them. The basics are same, but application is different. So you are going to do these, syllabus areas, the first unit that you have, you're going to do it from today till 21st of June. So I've literally given you 1 week. And we are meeting on 21st June, which is a Saturday at 8 p.m. Indian time. You will be done with these topics. I will pick up past paper questions from these topics. I'll cherry pick the questions for you. We will do it in the live class. After doing it in the live class, I'll give you a homework. Okay. That will be sufficient for the practice. So I'm not saying completely just do concepts and come to the kit at the end. No, we are doing the kit simultaneously. But 100% completion of the kit will happen. The exam kit completion will happen in August. So when I'll be doing topic-wise question, I am doing the kit simultaneously. Then IFRS 15, 16, and 9. From 22 June till 5th July, I've given you 2 weeks because usually IFRS 9 troubles a lot of students. It's a very, you can say, it's a very heavy standard. Quantity is more. So IFRS 15 is a standard which tells you how to treat revenue. So any company who earns income from their normal course of business, how are they supposed to treat that income? IFRS 16, leases. If you have taken something on rent, how are you supposed to treat it? Or if you have given something on rent, how are you supposed to treat it? IFRS 9, financial instruments. Yes. Now that is something which is going to be very helpful. I believe I always say it sarcastically to my students, if you've heard any grand revisions, that this is your favorite standard. So that's of course sarcastically, okay? So I've given you 2 weeks for this, but we will have 2 sessions. That does not mean I'm going to skip a weekend if I've given you 2 weeks. We are going to have 2 sessions. So maybe by 28th June, you can get done with IFRS 15 and 16, right? And then by the next weekend, you can get done with IFRS 9. So we'll have 2 sessions on 28th June and 5th of July. Then IS 19, IFRS 2, and IS 12. These are new standards which you have not done in FR. IS 19 is employee benefits, okay? Then IFRS 2 is share-based payment, and this is deferred tax. So this is what I'm going to do from 6th of July till 12th of July. Can be done easily in 1 week, okay? And we'll have a session on it on 12th of July. Then what do I have? I have group accounting. Now this group accounting is basically consolidation, which is tested in question number 1. There will be basic group accounts that you've already done in FR. There will be advanced group accounts, group foreign exchange, change in group structure, and group cash flow. I'm again giving you 2 weeks. Within this time frame, you'll also get your June results. So yes, there will be a disruption in here, but I still want you to cover. That's why I've given you 2 weeks. That even if 1 or 2 days are wasted, you can still manage it in 2 weeks. So we'll have 2 sessions for groups again on 19th July and 26th of July. So by 19th July, you can complete basic group accounts on the portal. And by 26th July, you can complete both basic and advanced. Right? Then small standards plus current issues. What is the small standard? Small standards are going to cover things like IS 37, IS 10, IFRS 8, operating segment. Then IFRS 11, joint ventures, joint operations, all that stuff. Then maybe some standards like IS 8, okay, like SME, small and medium sized entities. So these are very small standards. The number is huge, but the standards are very small. So there's a proper area on your portal which is dedicated to these small standards. Plus, of course, current issues. We are supposed to complete it by 2nd August. So effectively, if we follow this plan, we are getting done with our syllabus by 2nd of August. But still, I've given you 3 more days. So completed by 5th of August, okay? And I will let out the ultimate planner from 5th of August. In that, I will tell you every day which question are you supposed to solve. Now, if you go to the portal of TG Professionals, you will see there is a section by the name of Kit Question Debrief. Kit Question Debrief. That is literally a video exam library. It's like all of your past papers, all of your kit questions are debriefed to you in a video format. Now, come on, that is something which is maximum that we can do, right? That's something like completing all the past papers. That too, I've already explained them to you on the portal. So I'm going to give you an ultimate planner, which I will tell you that how are you supposed to watch each video, on which day you're supposed to watch which questions you're supposed to watch video on, and which questions you're supposed to do yourself. Even if there are videos available, still self-practice also is very important. So I will tell you these are self-practice questions and these are something that you can do via the video. Then we are going to have Super 20 classes live. I know some people, they just pile up the recordings and they don't watch it. Even if you attend these sessions live, I'm not telling you because I believe they're great, but it's the experience of the students who've got 91, 84, 86, the students who've been consistently, following the sessions. They've always came up and said that these were very helpful sessions for them, or this kit question debrief part of the portal was very helpful for them. So it's like the gold of the portal, gold of the batch. So please don't skip that. The reason I'm telling you this is today, if you are starting with the session, most of you are already enrolled. So the reason I'm telling you is if you start, please make sure that you make time for kit question debrief section of your portal to watch that well in time in the month of August. And you make time for Super 20 classes. Super 20 classes, it will be announced when the ultimate planner will be out, exact day and timing. So they are consecutive sessions. Usually you'll see them starting around 10th of August. And we are going to have 7 days consecutive classes for 3 to 4 hours every day. That usually starts at 6 p.m. Indian time, right? So this is what I have as a planner for you. And of course, after the class is over, on the YouTube itself, I will be sharing this planner and this full handout, okay, in the description box. And also I'll share it with you on all the WhatsApp groups that you're part of. So the students who are doing self-study, we also have group which is made as a community, okay, which you, if you're willing to, you can join. You can find the link to those groups again in the description box after a few minutes. And you can join those groups. I keep on sharing resources. So if I've posted a video on syllabus changes, I would share it on that group. If I have a grand revision coming up, I would share it on the group. Because that's a free resource, yes, so you can take care, or you can actually take advantage of it, right? So that's what I have as an offer for the students who are doing self-study, that there will be quick sessions on the YouTube for you guys as well. And the students who are enrolled or planning to enroll, I've already briefed you what is there in the course. Just visit the website tgprofs.com and you can see for yourself what all things are included and you can enroll. So that's it from my side. But now I'm open to the doubts from the students. Let's take them one by one. Please feel free to put your question. Ma'am, do we have to read Kaplan study text after watching your lecture? No. If you have to read the text, then why am I here? I have briefed you everything, every concept, only just solve for application's sake. Just solve TYUs, test yourself questions. Okay. what do you have we have to do about current issues? So Mansi, current issues, I already have a video on it. If you can just just Google SBR current issues and you will find my video on it. You can just have a look at it. It's like a periphery. Okay, current issues are like certain exposure drafts which are going on in ISB. Some topics about which ISB is discussing, like cryptocurrency, how to treat cryptocurrency, right? So that kind of stuff is part of your current issues. So of course, I'll make a video on it. It's already there, but I'll make a new one, most probably for this attempt. And this basically is your current issues are now newly termed as issues in financial reporting. So, yeah, we talk about digital assets, cryptocurrencies, materiality. We talk about climate change, the IFRS S1 and S2. All these are part of current issues. No, current issues are not current affairs. So that's what even I thought when I was doing SBR, but actually it is not. It is actually current affairs of ISB, the body who made IFRSs. After 9 exemption, how we can appear for our first paper SBR without knowing anything in depth? I'm really afraid of starting. See, Richa, see, I have seen many people, I've also talked about this in one of the podcasts, that many people who got exemptions, they usually, they know the concepts, but there are certain people who don't know them, because there are various colleges with various quality of teachings. So some people are really good at it, some people are not. So if you come from some such a background where honestly you know it yourself, I'm not going to name anything, so you know it for yourself if you're coming from that background or not. If yes, you are supposed to deal with SPR really patiently. Okay, so if you are not aware about the concepts, like you don't know what is depreciation, I'm talking about that level of uh, lack of concept. I'm not talking about that you've forgotten something. Some people who've given FR have also forgotten. So I'm not talking about that scenario that you've forgotten some certain thing, because I'm going to teach anyway from scratch. But if you're coming from a background with a very weak concept, like you've not done it ever, you don't know what is consolidation, you don't know what is groups, you've never heard about this. So if that is the situation, then you should take maybe 6 months for your preparation. Or if you're a full-time student, make sure along with the lectures, you're reading the text too. See, my lectures, I'm telling you very honestly, I've kept them very much from the scratch. In fact, certain lectures that I've given you in SBR are from FR as well. Like IS 16, like first 3 videos of IS 16 are as it is there in FR as well. And then there is an addition to SBR, so more videos are there in NCA section. So point is that whatever I'm teaching in FR at the conceptual level, I am also teaching to you in SBR, and then developing your knowledge over that concept. But if possible, in your scenario, if you're very weak in concepts, you might consider reading the text along with the lecture, just because you need extra work on the concept. Okay, you have to identify it for yourself whether you need that work or not. Ma'am, about the changes, new standards are introduced, and how we will do classes for them. Apurva, we are going to have so many live classes. Approximately, we have like 20 plus live sessions. So once we complete our syllabus, we are going to have classes on the updation on the syllabus. There are only 2 standards which are like very easy. Okay, so I will take that up. So for example, one session, group accounts. So there's one change related to group accounts. So I'll discuss that in the live class of group accounts. That's basically on the dates that I just shared with you. So that day I'll discuss the change. Okay, this is what is happening. So don't miss on the live classes. That means live classes are very important for you. I've been logging in. I did not receive any credentials. Samita, okay, yes. So if you're logging in with your email, that's great. So basically, you first signed up and then purchased the course. So that's fine. But the students sometimes they buy the course by not signing in. So for them, the credentials goes into the email and sometimes spam folder. Okay, fine. Ma'am, are there any changes in September attempt? Yes, 2, 3 changes, subtle changes. I'll make a proper video on that. Right now, just start with your concepts. There are not major changes that, okay, we can't start with the syllabus at the first go. Very minor changes. Okay. Ma'am, do we also have to read Kaplan's study text theory after watching your lecture? No. Will your live lectures be streamed on YouTube? No, no, of course not. Okay. So that is going to be on the portal, via the portal on Zoom. And okay, ma'am, are there any changes? I've already discussed that. Cost, okay, yeah, I just forgot to discuss the cost. So if you're planning on to enroll, if you visit the website, cost is available to you on the portal. So we have a 10% off going on, which is you can avail by using the coupon code. Okay, September Sep10. Okay, so you can just use that coupon code. It's available on website again. So the cost is 200 US dollars, and if you would apply 10%, it will come down to 180 US dollars. So again, you can see it for your currency on the website. Okay, is there a new book released for September attempt? I don't think so. Like it's not yet available, but we don't need it. You can use the books that you have, whichever book you have. If you want to buy the new one, that's your choice. But because whatever is the syllabus change, as I said, they're very minimalist. So I will be sharing the notes for those changes with you in the class. So if you're enrolling with me, you don't need any such unnecessary purchase. Okay. So if you have any old book of yours, you can still keep on using that. Will the planner be same for those taking SBR and AAA in the same sitting? Kind of yes, James. I will adjust AAA according to this SBR planner. So I'll be sharing a combined planner of SBR and AAA with you day after tomorrow. I'd also like to connect with you once, since the attempting in December, I've already enrolled and I am needing the extension. However, I want to start the preparation from now since I'm working and I have less time. Okay, Samita, please reach out to the team on the number which is available. Okay. Should I be going through live questions currently uploaded after each topic? Yes, yes, Hussein. So live sessions, whichever happen after you complete a topic, make sure you go through that live class. Will there be drafting classes? Yes, of course. Super 20 classes, the whole section of exam kit, like video exam library. I actually type the answers out in the class and share it with you. So you can also refer to my answers instead of Kaplan answers. So yes, all that is there. Ma'am, when you said to test your self-understanding, what do you mean? Because from your lecture so far, TYUs are from FR, not SBR. So should I do that SBR TY? Okay, so Yasmin, so far, I believe you have done NCA. As I said, first few videos of NCA are from FR, right? So that's why you're saying FR TYUs. When you will move ahead with the NCA topics which are not there in FR, of course, they are being done from SBR. So you will see the TYUs from SBR being solved. So yes, TYUs, whatever. So if let's suppose you did IS 16, but I solved a TYU of FR, which was very conceptual, but something that you've long forgotten. So that's good. That's an addition to your knowledge, right? That's how you cover the concept. Now, whatever you've done, IS 16 you've just completed, go to the SBR Kaplan text, whatever textbook you have, and solve the TYUs from there. Simple. Ma'am, if I take both SBR and AAA, how can I attend the live classes? Oh God, how can you attend it at the same time? Now tell me, I am one person. Can I be there in two subject classes at one time? I don't have such powers yet. So they won't be at the same time, right? They will be different. So Saturdays are kept for SBR and Sundays are kept for AAA. So I'm the only one right now, okay, teaching at TG Professional. So I'll take the classes for SBR and AAA both. So if you are attending both with me, like I will be taking both the sessions on different days, you will also attend the sessions on different days, right? Okay. I'm currently pursuing my undergraduation along with ACCA. I've got 9 exemptions. Would it be difficult for me to clear the exam? No, not at all. Again, depends upon your basics. If you have done basics, like if you have basics of accounts, depreciation, debits, credits, if you know what is balance sheet, the basics, like literal basics. So there won't be any problem. Okay, you can do it. Okay. Also, I'd like to contact with you. Okay. If I then I have the live sessions. Could you please give some clarity? If I pay for the paid extension, then will I have the live sessions till the December attempt? No. See, if you extend your course, paid, unpaid, see, why do you want to pay for the extension when I'm giving you an option for a free extension until this July, right? Like if you Just you have to inform me early. So if you give me that information, I'll freely extend the course. There's no payment required. And extension means that you're not giving your paper this attempt, so your classes will pause. You won't be attending the live classes. Recordings will be still there. You can do your self-paced preparation. Live classes will begin for the December, right? So if you're giving the paper in December, what's the point of attending the live classes, which are like super 20 live classes, or completing the whole course in August? That does not make sense, right? So you will attend those classes, fresh classes, for the December attempt. Okay. Do we need to purchase kit and study text, or soft copy of both running notes made by us will be enough? uh, you should have a soft copy of your books, okay, whether they are old. I believe most of people, they have it. If you don't have, you can buy it, okay. And yes, running notes will help you. No need to read text, just solve TYUs. And exam kit, of course, you need exam kit, Kaplan exam kit. Okay. Will your live lectures be streamed? No, I work full time and won't be able to get time off in August. How many hours a day should we expect to dedicate to practice in August? Smith, I think in August you would need to dedicate at least 4 hours every day. I'm being on the minimum, right? So make sure that you have that time. How to manage both AAA and SBR, as I'm planning to give both in September. See, AAA and SBR are very much interrelated. So that's something which is a good point as well. So you save some time. So you should, plan strategically the areas of overlap. So for example, IFRSs are there in SBR and AAA as well. AAA only develops the IFRSs further, where we talk further about like how to create audit risk around an IFRS, or audit procedure or evidence around a certain IFRS. So when in SBR classes you were doing a certain IFRS, in AAA you should be doing its related risk procedure and evidence. That's how you can align the two subjects really well together, right? Okay, fine. Do we have to prepare our own notes or refer? My notes are available along with every lecture. Class note is available. I just requested to make your running notes for the sake of retention. If you don't make it, fine, you have the class notes, right? How should we manage SBR as a full-time working professional? Okay, that's a very good question, a valid question, because many students are working here. See, if you start well in time, today you attended this orientation, start with your preparation. Please don't wait, okay? And once you begin with it, you are having the leisure of time. Even if you dedicate 2 hours or 3 hours every day, you can very much complete the syllabus with like 30-40% of the kit as well, because we are simultaneously doing kit in the form of live classes, homeworks, and assignments. So 30%, I can safely say you will get done by 5th of August. So completing the full syllabus with giving assignments and 30% of the exam kit, that's how you complete it, by starting it well in time. And even if you dedicate 2.5 hours every day, you can still achieve this goal. So that's how you manage it as a working professional, by starting in time. Now, how can you give 2.5 hours daily? That depends upon your schedule. So if you have your working time starting at 9 a.m., maybe you can start your studying process at 6 a.m. in the morning, or you can do it, sometimes when you're traveling. Like some people travel via metro, or they have long driving that they have to do to reach the office. So in that time, you can just plug in and listen to the lectures if you are not the one who's driving, okay. So you can do that. If you are going on a metro, you can just listen to the classes. So that's what I suggest that you can do. So 2.5 hours that you have to take out for yourself. I don't recommend you that if you're a professional, that you keep the timing after the office, because usually when we are not able to wake up early, usually we say, okay, we'll do it at the end. Once we're done with the office, I'll study. And that ends up when we do nothing. So it's like a candy you give to yourself every day. After the office, I will study, but then you don't end up studying. So please try to study in the beginning of the day itself. That will make you disciplined, that will make you more productive, and you will have a better day ahead, because now you have covered what you were supposed to cover for the day in the beginning itself, and you're very productive in the morning. So that's my suggestion, right, Mansi? Okay. Do we need to cram to, or just understanding the concept in, as I saw in solved question, they're starting with all different. Yes, Anita, that's what I said. Retention is very important. So understanding plus retention. That's why I told you to make your running notes. So yes, cramming is required for knowing the keywords of the standard, because you have to produce them as it is in the paper. So if I'm writing an answer on NCA, maybe I'll have to write the definition of PP as it is. I have to write the accounting treatment as it is given in the IS 16. So I need to retain that. Okay. Typing speed doesn't matter. It's just like, when you write the paper, you think and write. So typing is not like you're constantly copying and writing something. So you think and type. So it will take time. So no problem with that. Okay, ma'am, is that possible if I do one skill paper and one P-level paper together? Yes, but how can you give FR and AAA together? Please, don't attempt AAA without SBR. Like either give it together with SBR or after SBR. So AAA, don't do it without passing or giving SBR. Okay. Is self-study possible for a student who's got 9 exemptions? Does little English knowledge is enough to crack this exam? Is your Saturday live class can be seen by everyone? No, as I informed, live classes are for the batch students. Okay, for you guys, self-study students, I will be having some discussions, or there are so many free resources like grant revisions from previous attempts. You have current issues video, you have preparation videos, right? This attempt we will have grand revision, then we will have ultimate planner coming up. This video, this orientation, the planner that I've given you, these are the resources that we have for the self-study students, right? And if you've got 9 exemptions, I recommend you to take some guidance. Okay, you can do it yourself if you're coming from a background, as I said, where you remember the basics. If you've forgotten the basics, then maybe you can consider taking guidance. I'm not saying take it from me only. Anywhere where you feel comfortable with, just try to make sure that your basics are not compromised. Okay, right. So that's it. That's what I wanted to discuss. I have taken up as many doubts as possible, and I hope that you guys have understood what SBR looks like and what are we supposed to do in this paper, and make sure that we pass the paper. If you have some free time, sometimes, like when I was a student, and sometimes when we are not studying, just to keep ourselves motivated, we try to watch certain content. So I would request you, go and watch certain interviews that I've taken of students who've scored really well in SPR. Like there are from many attempts. Like last session, there was the student Sandar who got 91. Watch his interview. Then I had a student who got 88, 86, 84. So all these students interviews are available on YouTube, okay, on my channel itself. So binge on watching such productive content. Sometimes what I tell you, you might not understand it in a way, the way a student has told you, from his perspective, because he has used the same resources which you have. So you might feel a little overwhelmed with the resources. So that student typically tells you that, this resource was very useful for me, don't miss on this, or this particular strategy worked well for me. So try watching such content. So don't try to just aimlessly scroll on social media whenever, I'm not talking about people who are giving other papers. You're giving SBR, you have a content creator on SBR. Just watch such motivating reels, videos, or certain strategy related content. Like sometimes I remember making a video on it, that how to solve questions in professional level. So sometimes when I'm saying few things, we had a very limited time. Okay, so whenever we meet for a limited time. Few things when I just say out from certain experience, it might help you in a way. When I tell you that this is the application skill that you have to apply, that might help you. So, and there are so many such more videos, not just me. There are so many good tutors out there who are making videos related to the subject. Watch such content, okay? Don't overwhelm yourself with such resources, but also try to not waste your time on aimless scrolling. When you know that I'm preparing for a certain paper, when you are free, maybe you have a habit of watching a podcast on general themes. So maybe you can give time on watching a podcast on ACCA, or watching a podcast on SBR, or watching an interview of a student, mine student or other student, who have given SBR and done wonders and learned from their experience. So that's how you can also, remain in touch with your preparation and make sure that you are aligned with the course. So that's it from my side, guys. And thank you so much for attending the session live. And let's begin with this with a big smile, blessings of God. And please stay safe wherever you are. And please be disciplined. Don't procrastinate. It's, again, I repeat, it's not a race. It's a marathon. You're not supposed to have a zeal today, start with full zeal, cover 10 lectures, and then fall. No, you are supposed to maintain your stamina. So that's why it's a marathon and not a race. So go slow in the beginning, then take a little bit of leap, start slowly and gradually make your speed. That's what I'm trying to say. So that's it, guys. May God bless you all, and I'll make sure as much as I can I stay connected with you, and I deal with your problems, everything on the WhatsApp group, over the calls, whatever possible that I can do. So thank you, guys, and may God bless all of you, and all the best for your preparation for September 2025. Goodbye. Take care.